Hi, I'm Andrea. I'm a Youth Services Librarian at the Hickory Corner branch of the Mercer County Library System. And today I'm going to make for you Icebox cookies and cream cups. You do not need to take notes during this. I'm going to have the whole recipe and procedure for you in the description of this video. So who doesn't love a chocolate sandwich cookie, right? So we're gonna make them even more delicious by layering them with some homemade whipped cream and garnishing with some cookie crumbs on top. We're gonna pop them in the fridge. I made some last night that are ready. This is an icebox dessert, which means it does need to go in the fridge so those cookies can soften, and I promise you it's worth the wait. And to be perfectly honest, I think that being able to make them the night before and popping them in the fridge is even better because you can make them, forget about it, and then you have them ready for the next day. Okay, this is fast, it's easy, it's refreshing. I love to bake, but I don't always love heating up my whole house. So I love that this recipe is something that you could just pop in the refrigerator and you don't have to heat up the whole house, and it makes such a great little dessert. I'm choosing to make them in a muffin tin and make them into little cups because I think it's a great grab and go dessert. You don't need to then serve it out of a serving dish. You can certainly do this in some kind of baking dish, but you would probably need to double the recipe. I'm only gonna be making 6 cups. I made 6 cups last night, so I'm making another 6 cups today. So if you are going to do this in a bigger baking dish, you wanna double the recipe. If you wanna make a whole muffin tin, you're gonna want to double the things I'm going to show you today. So let's get started. My daughter loved making the sample with me yesterday, so this is super kid friendly. They can help you through the whole process. As you can see, we even have frozen 2 cupcake liners that we're gonna put in. So you're gonna start by just putting the cupcake liners into your muffin tin. And like I said, I'm only doing 6 because I made 6 last night. So go ahead and put those in, and then you're gonna set this off to the side. Now in the refrigerator, I have a metal bowl and the whisk attachment to my electric mixer chilling. If you chill your bowl and your whisk ahead of time, it's going to make making the fresh whipped cream that much better. So I'm gonna go and grab that. I'm also gonna grab the heavy cream because that should also be really cold when you're making this. So I've got that ready right here for you. Okay, so I'm using a fairly deep bowl, even though you're only gonna be using 1 cup of the cream because it's gonna splatter a little when you turn on your mixer. If you have a stand mixer, you can use that too. You can certainly do this by hand with a whisk. It's gonna take a lot of arm power. So I actually really like using my electric mixer for this, and I like the whisk attachment. I think it makes for a nice whipped cream. So you're gonna need 1 cup of heavy cream. And to sweeten your whipped cream, you're going to need some powdered sugar. This is 2 tablespoons. I feel like 2 tablespoons makes a fairly not that sweet whipped cream. I don't think you need a lot of sweetness in your whipped cream for this because the cookies are very sweet. You can certainly do completely unsweetened whipped cream if you want, and or you can add more if you like it a little sweeter. It's really to your taste. So I'm using 2 tablespoons of powdered sugar, confectioner sugar, 10x sugar, whatever you want to call it. I prefer the powdered sugar over granulated sugar simply because I think it mixes in a little bit better. Also, if you look at the ingredients on powdered sugar, you're gonna see it actually has a little bit of cornstarch in it, and that will stabilize your whipped cream a little bit more. So if you don't have powdered sugar, just use regular granulated sugar. It's not a big deal. I just like the powdered sugar better. So 2 tablespoons of that, and then you just need a ½ a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract, and we'll add that in once the cream is about halfway there. Okay, so I'm gonna put my whisk attachment in, and I'm gonna measure out a cup of a heavy cream. Now this is a pint. A pint is 2 cups, so I'm gonna be using about half of it today. If you want to double the recipe, you're just gonna use the whole pint. So you're gonna pour that into your chilled bowl. I like to use my little spatula to get every last little bit out. Okay, and then you're just gonna turn on your mixer and you're gonna whisk. You wanna use about a medium-high speed. Forgive me if this is a little bit loud. Okay, and then we are going to talk about making fresh whipped cream. So let me get that started for you. Okay, so you do not want to over-mix this. If you over-mix your whipped cream, you're gonna end up with butter, believe it or not. And the butter will be usable, it just won't be usable in this recipe, okay? I think sometimes people are a little bit intimidated by fresh whipped cream. You can certainly use the store-bought stuff or even the stuff that comes in the tub, but it really does not take very long. Look, we're already about halfway there. Do you see how it's already thickening up a little bit? This is the stage, ooh, I spilled a little there. This is the stage where I like to put in the powdered sugar and also the half a teaspoon of vanilla. Okay, so once you make homemade whipped cream, you almost never want to go back to the other stuff. It's so easy to do and it just tastes amazing. So let's go ahead and turn our mixer back on. And this is the stage where you really have to be careful because, again, do not want to over mix. Okay, so let's turn that back on. Medium-high speed, I'm gonna keep an eye on. I'm gonna see if I can just show you what I'm doing here. All right, so I'm around. Do you see how it's thickening up there? All right, keep going. All right, I'm gonna shut that off. I'm gonna show you. You want something called stiff peaks. Do you see how it's making a little stiff peak there? I may go around just a couple more times. Again, you just have to be super careful not to overmix, but I don't want it to be too soupy either. A few more times, let's turn that off, and there we go. Nice whipped cream. Oop, little dollop on the table, never hurt anyone. Okay, so I'm going to put my mixer off to the side, and we are going to assemble our cookies and cream cups. So the way you're gonna wanna do that is grab that prepared muffin tin, take the whole cookies, and you're gonna put one in each cup. It works out so nice because those cookies fill the bottom of that cup so nicely. Okay, so you're gonna put one cookie in each. If your cookies are a little bit broken, don't even worry about it because they're just gonna get nice and soft and smush. Okay, and then I like to use a small cookie scoop to do this next step. If you don't have one, you could certainly just use a tablespoon, but about a scoopful of cream is exactly enough to dollop on top there. Can you see how I dollop that right on top? So you're gonna put one in each cup. You see how that whipped cream whipped up so nicely there? Perfect for scooping. You can even like ice cakes with this fresh whipped cream. It's great. And again, the sweetness is totally to your taste, and that's what's nice is that you can adjust that. I think that last one needs a tiny bit more, maybe it wasn't full. Okay, so the next thing you're gonna wanna do is you are going to want to take another cookie and just squish it down on top. And that will spread out that cream in the middle there. Okay, do that. See? We'll have a broken one, no big deal, because it's just gonna get nice and soft on us once they go in the fridge, and you won't even see it. Okay, great. So now you see those? Okay. We're gonna take another scoop of the whipped cream. We are going to dollop that right on top. Okay, 3 more here. Trying to go quick for you. 1, 2, and 3. Now you will have a little bit extra. I'm gonna do something special with that in a little bit, so I'm gonna set that off to the side. Okay, so you're gonna wanna spread out the cream this time I like to use an offset spatula. You can certainly just use a butter knife. And you're just gonna wanna spread it around to cover that cookie so that top layer gets nice and soft in the fridge. Now I think I forgot to mention that you are gonna wanna save 2 cookies. I put in the recipe, I'm gonna say 14 cookies, 12 whole ones, and then 2 of them you're gonna crush up. And you're gonna use those as your garnish. Okay, you can crush them up in a plastic baggie with a rolling pin or just smash them. You can even just put them right in a bowl and just smush them down with a spoon, however you wanna do it there. Okay, that's what I love about an offset spatula. It just does that so nicely there. Great, and then you're just gonna take your already crushed up cookies and you're gonna sprinkle them on top just to make it look pretty. Okay, and once you have them all sprinkled, you're just gonna pop these in the fridge. You're gonna wanna cover them first. I have a piece of plastic wrap ready to go. Okay, and there you go. So that is what they look like. You're gonna wanna take a piece of plastic plastic wrap and cover them up. Like I said, I made mine the night before because I think the longer they sit, the better they get. So 6 to 8 hours minimum, overnight is best. So I'm gonna pop these in my fridge to sit throughout the day. And I'm gonna grab the ones that I made for you last night. And here we go. Take that plastic wrap off. Now I'm gonna pull one of these cups out to show you. It's actually easy just to kind of grab the side there. Oop, maybe I'll use my offset spatula to give myself a hand. There we go. Okay. And see, what's nice is, yes, they are a little bit soft, but they are great little grab and go desserts. You can put them on a nice plate, and then you can just grab them. You can take a spoon and, oops, here's a spoon, and you can eat right out of the cup, which is nice. The bottom cookie actually stays a little bit, can you hear it? The bottom actually stays a little bit crunchy, so it gives it a little bit of structural integrity in there, and it gives a nice little texture to have that little bit of crunch, and then the soft cookies in the middle. So I'm going to take a scoop out and just show you those layers. All right, get ready for this. So here's my scoop on my spoon, but let me show you those beautiful layers in there. It tastes so good. Actually, I think I am gonna take a little bite. So good. Okay, I'm gonna set that off to the side. That's for me later. Okay, so remember I told you you're gonna have that little bit of extra whipped cream? So if you want to, you can take the rest of your cookie crumbs, or if you have a little bit more cookies laying around. I happen to have these little 2-packs, so it's perfect for crushing, because then you don't even need a little plastic bag. You just crush them right in there. Tear it open. Pour them in to that leftover whipped cream. Take your spatula and fold them gently, because you don't want to take the air out of your whipped cream. So just kind of gently fold it in there. Okay, and then you can put it in a nice glass bowl so you can see how pretty it is. And now you've got a cookies and cream whipped cream. And let me tell you, this cookies and cream whipped cream is perfect with fresh strawberries. I was able to get these from a farm this week, so you can go ahead and just dip it, and there you go. You've got another beautiful dessert. So it's like 2 desserts in one. So here are a few tips for when you're making this. Okay, I already told you about the powdered sugar. So again, if you don't have the powdered sugar, it's no big deal. You can use granulated sugar. You can use other types of cookies. So if you don't like chocolate sandwich cookies, but you prefer the vanilla ones, you can certainly do that. If you want to try chocolate chip cookies, that's fine. The cream in the middle doesn't really matter. You just need a cookie that's going to get soft by the whipped cream, and so that you have those beautiful layers. So you can do chocolate chip, or even like a vanilla wafer kind of cookie, whatever you want. It's a pretty versatile recipe. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you get a chance to make it. And if nothing else, you have to make this fresh whipped cream with the cookie crumbs in it. It's so delicious. So, bye.